that is the capacity to build relationships, right? Like I'm for experts, consultants coming in to provide a safe space, because a lot of times people will not tell their HR person or their diversity person in house for fear of retaliation or just because there's no trust there, but whatever. As a consultant, I know I can collect data that seems to a lot of times surprise leadership, right? But it's authentic, and it's like because they don't think that my link is going into their ID number or something in a backdoor system. But I also think that as majority people, you have to understand that the power in relationship building, right? I did a talk right before the holidays, and a lady, they asked for bios, and I give my bio, and nowhere in my bio does it reference my race or ethnicity, but she decided to say that I was a BIPOC. She's like, she's a diversity expert and a BIPOC woman. And so I felt the need to lovingly, as I thought, correct. Like, I just go by black. Like, I'm over 50 years old. When I was checking boxes, it was black, white, or other, right? I understand African American. That came out when I was in college. I understand all of these other terms. But for me, being a human, right? Because no matter what my education says, I'm a human. I got a little offended when I was like, how are you going to tell me what I want to be called, right? Like, it's nowhere in my bio, but for you to just put this term with me. So I think a lot of times as we're trying to get awakened, right, or become woke, that we put things out there and we don't understand the power of what people want to be called. I want to be called Lisa, right? Like, there's so much in Lisa. There's so many layers and richness to that. Till I can tell you the other stuff, but get to know me. Let's have a relationship. So when people want to sit there and they send the emails and they have woman WOMXN, but nobody understands what that means. And then everybody's Googling the email because we want to be culturally sensitive. How about having trainings? How about having conversations? How about letting us know that we're on this journey and engaging the marginalized people in things and up to their comfortableness? I really believe it goes back to trust. People will help, but don't take over. Know when to pass the mic, when to take the mic, and when to block off the street because it's not your race, just for the safety of the people that are running it.
I like that. I love the way you put that out there. I think so many times there's so many assumptions that I always kind of fall back to. We need to have more one-on-one conversations. They have a tendency to be less threatening, right? And so, and I'm specifically talking to the question and say, hey, I have a white counterpart, and they don't know. And I've had this conversation. I'm sure these ladies have had this also. It's like, I don't know whether to call you black, African American, colored. I mean, literally, I've had those conversations, and that's again just racial. But there are other marginalized groups that have the same issues, right? It's like, well, are you gay or this or that? I mean, they just don't know. And I just simply say, hey, just if you're in a safe space, if you have a trusted relationship, let's just go in and ask. You can ask for grace right off the bat and say, hey, I'm going to step in it somewhere because I just don't know, but I want to learn, right? And just have those smaller conversations. They go a lot better than, say, a group conversation where everybody's afraid to raise their hand or ask the question or afraid of being seen as racist or, homophobic or whatever. So I really appreciate if others want to help in the fight, seek out somebody and say, hey, look, I want to know, and I'm not going to take your sense as the only sense. I'm going to continue that conversation with others, but I just help me get started on it.